Let me ask you something about the America's social insurance, the unemployment to be exact. If you have paid to this fund all your life while you're employed, logic will say when you lose your job or you are not generating an income, you should be able to access these funds and withdraw from it, right? Wrong. That is not how it works to the people who are living in this country. 8 million and plus counting are not experiencing that at the moment. Simple community, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for tuning in. Now trust me, this is one video you do not want to miss. Stick around. So there's about roughly 8 million undocumented employees in the United States, and every time they receive a salary, unemployment insurance taxes are paid into the system. Technically, those taxes are paid by employers, but the economists widely agree that the payroll taxes are often passed back to employees through lower salaries. So the money goes back to the system. But when those employees lose their job, guess what? They cannot file an application. Strange, huh? So around 2022, the undocumented foreign nationals contributed about 1.8 billion US dollars into the unemployment insurance fund across the United States. Yep, you heard me. They also paid about 25.7 billion US dollars into the social security and more than 6 billion into Medicare. In total, we are looking at about 96.7 billion US dollars in taxes that year. More than a third of those taxes funds programs, they are legally blocked from accessing those funds. Now that is not a loophole. That is how the system was designed globally. Now, here's the interesting twist. Right now, the Trump administration is conducting the most aggressive deportation campaign in a generation. 1 million removals per year is the stated target. And every one of those departing employees was, until their departure, a UI contributor. Their employers paid the taxes on their salaries, their labor generated revenue for the system. Now they are being put on planes, but the money stays behind. Now, here's what the economist at the Economic Policy Institute projects, and these are the projections. If the deportation reach 4 million over 4 years, there will be 2.6 million fewer jobs for the US-born employees. Why, you may ask? Because the labor markets are interconnected, and construction workers rely on crews. Farm workers, they rely on harvest teams. Now, when you remove the people who are funding the social insurance, you also destabilize the jobs of the employees who are left behind. I don't think this is what they want to do. Now, I'm going to spill the beans and I'm going to try and say this as simple as I can. These undocumented foreign national employees, they have contributed nearly about $100 billion in taxes, and this was around 2022, and some of those employees are now being deported by the Trump administration, and their contributions remain in the unemployment insurance fund. Now, these employees that are left behind, including the US-born employees, will submit their application against the system those deported employees helped to fund. And the safety net was partly financed by the people who are now being removed from the country. Now, here's a very difficult question that no one is actually eager to answer. If someone pays into the social insurance and then get deported, but you keep their money, should you call that a contribution or a tax on the people you refuse to protect? I'll be waiting for an answer, as we'll continue to turn confusion into clarity, doubt into direction, and silence into hope. Because as CNP community, we don't just talk UIF, we are bringing
We're
it
going to keep
to
bringing
life.
you accurate, up-to-date info about unemployment insurance. We'll keep answering your questions and clearing up any confusion y'all might have about the system. And we're here to bust those myths and clear up the misconceptions too. No fluff, just facts. So go ahead, y'all, and hit that subscribe button on our YouTube. Join us on Facebook, and don't forget to follow us on TikTok. Thanks, y'all. We appreciate you.